welcome back. We had sports, and now we got some the real sports, the real blood sport is of politics. Democratic Club's here today, and Joel Goldstein and Alan Feldman are joining us. Thanks for joining us, gentlemen. Good to have you back. Alan, actually, I'm going to start with you. Tell me just a little bit in general about the Democratic Club. What you guys are all about, what you do.
Okay, well, the Democratic Club it's what's called a chartered club. We're chartered by the Democratic Party of Orange County. And we are a real legitimate political organization. In fact, we're a political action committee. We're a PAC. We donate money to candidates. And our number one goal, our number one job is to elect Democrats to office. That sounds rather partisan, but we are the Democratic Club.
I would say the Republican Club has the same ideas, by the way.
Right. Oh, they're wrong and we're right. That's the idea. But I mean, that's basically what we do. And what we try to focus our efforts on is we try to get people out to vote. That's the most important thing. And in California and here in Laguna Woods, fortunately, that's not a difficult chore in some ways. It's so simple to vote in California. And in Laguna Woods, we get usually 80–85% voter turnout.
Right.
And you know, we try to bring candidates. We'd always try to bring candidates during the never-ending election season in there. And when it's not an election year, we try to bring interesting speakers on events, on topics that we believe our members and others would be interested in. But our primary focus is, I mean, we're the real, I don't know how the Republican Club operates. I'm pretty sure they're the same. But we're a real political organization.
Right.
We're the same as Tammany Hall. They were a political club in New York. So we're really the same thing, same kind of thing.
And Joel, talking about topical conversations and topical speakers, the threat to democracy conversation has been going on for the last 6.5 years or so now, and we have a speaker coming in talking just about that, right?
Yes. Well, you've probably heard the term threats to democracy a lot in the media, and what do we mean when we talk about that? I think of it in terms of three categories. One is undermining elections. How does that happen? Through voter suppression, gerrymandering of districts, and denial of election results. Another way is weakening governmental protections by attacking the checks and balances that we have built into our government so that no one branch can have all the power. And I know that some of our opponents want to increase the power of the executives and decrease the power of the other two branches, and I think that's a problem. And a third is to loosen the control of the military by the civilian sector. The military is always supposed to be beholden to the people at large.
Yeah, to the civilian authority, so to speak.
Right. So we have a meeting coming up on October 17. The slide on the screen.
Yeah.
Very pleased to have the chair of the political science department at the University of California at Irvine, the name Simone Chambers. She studies democracy and threats to democracy all over the world, both in the past and at present. I found it very interesting that 70% of the people in the world do not live in a democracy. They live in an authoritarian government. And she will talk about threats to democracy. Her interests are in democratic theory and ethics, in government and religion, rhetoric, and reason in the public sphere.
Okay, and that's coming up October 17th, 7 p.m. over at Clubhouse 2 in the main lounge, so make sure people get out to that. Alan, I want to talk to you about Katie Porter's appearance. She's coming as well, right?
Absolutely.
Senate candidate.
Yes, October 27th, Friday afternoon, October 27th, Clubhouse 7 at 1 p.m. Representative Katie Porter, one of the leading Democratic candidates for the U.S. Senate, is going to be appearing live and in person. And she's going to be appearing and speaking here in Laguna Woods. Earlier this year, we had Barbara Lee, who is a U.S. representative from the Bay Area, and she's also one of the leading Democratic candidates for the Senate. She spoke here, and we've been trying to work with Adam Schiff's campaign, the congressman from Burbank, who was the third leading Democratic candidate for the Senate. Try to find a time where he can come here and speak also.
Terrific. So Katie's going to be here October 27th at Clubhouse 7.
Right. And you know, we want obviously we want as many people as possible to come out. I mean, I think it's really so important for people to hear. And this is what we do. I mean, we bring as many candidates as we possibly can to appear before our club members and everybody else. Usually, we do deal with what we call down ballot candidates, so people
Right.
running for the water board, and because they have so much trouble getting heard.
Right.
They get
There's no forum for them, really.
That's right. They get overwhelmed in the
Right.
election. But believe me, we are more than happy to have people running for statewide office appearing here in Laguna Woods. And, you know, for people, even people who aren't Democrats, maybe especially for people who aren't Democrats, you know, looking at the realities of politics in the state of California now, anything can happen in an election. We know that. But it would be a real surprise if either Katie Porter, Adam Schiff, or Barbara Lee were not elected
Right,
to the
they're not
U.S.
in
Senate.
terms of the top candidates that are going
Right.
to make the general. Hey, one of the other things you guys do is party endorsements. That's coming up, the convention, right?
Right, the California Democratic Party, it's called the endorsement convention is coming up in November in Sacramento, and this is the end of a rather complicated process of people receiving the Democratic Party endorsement to run. It starts at the very local level, you know, the local clubs and the local county parties, and it goes up to the convention. And it goes up to the convention. Anybody who's proof of the endorsement needs to be approved by the convention. And it's again on our particular area here, we have 4 what they call partisan races. The water board and things like that are not partisan races; they're non-denominational, non-partisan. But there are 4 of it, and in 3 of them, we have more than one candidate that is vying for the endorsement of the Democratic Party. In the congressional race, the 40th, which covers almost all of Laguna Woods, we have Joe Kerr and Allison Dimkolas, both vying for that endorsement. In the State Senate District, we have Alex Mojahar and State Senator Josh Newman, both fighting for the endorsement. And in the 47th District, which covers it's interesting here in Laguna Woods because it covers only
Sounds like it.
small sliver.
Just a sliver.
It's just a small sliver, but it is considered one of the most competitive congressional districts in the United States, and one of the most important as far as control of Congress is concerned. And again, we have 2 candidates who are vying for the endorsement there, State Senator Dave Min and Joanna Weiss. So there's about 4 or 5 people from Laguna Woods who are actually going to the convention as delegates.
Okay.
Including me. This is my first, so I don't know what this is going to be like. It'll be in the
Great
smoke-filled
experience.
room, smoking a cigar like 1950s, or because it gets hot and heavy. I mean, these things can get very contested, so it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
The blood sport of politics,
Yeah, it really is.
always something on. All right, from the Democratic Club, Joel Goldstein and Alan Feldman, thank you so much for joining us.